everyone, I'm Villa. Today I want to talk about how to apply affective strategy in our learning and daily life. Why I want to talk about affective strategy? Well, I take language learning strategy class this semester and I learned many very useful strategy, and I like the affective strategy most because it helped me solve many problems in my learning. And as teacher Ray said in the class, the good strategy can not only apply in classroom, but also in our daily life. So I want to apply this amazing strategy in my learning and my daily life. Now I want to talk about how to apply effective strategy on our learning and daily life. And in this slide, I want to focus on learning, and I will divide learning part into two aspects. One is on language learning, and the other is non-language learning. I will use learning Japanese as an example on language learning. Why I want to use learning Japanese as an example? Because effective strategies help me a lot in my English learning, and I wonder whether it's still helpful when I learned a brand new language. Surprisingly, after I apply effective strategy on learning Japanese for 4 months, I find it works. And effective strategy does help me love this language more. And I used 3 strategies on learning Japanese, which is lower your anxiety, encourage yourself, and taking your emotional temperature. To lower your anxiety, the way I use is to create a strong motivation, study in a relaxed environment. During my study, I always tell myself, if I study Japanese well, then I can understand my favorite manga and animations. This is a very strong motivation for me. With a strong motivation, I won't feel anxious or nervous or fierce. It will push me go forward in my studies. Study in a relaxed environment is very important to me. I will eat some snacks, drink some drinks, and listen my favorite music while I study. Study in a relaxed environment will make me feel relaxed and delightful. With those emotions, I can learn this language well. And then talking to encourage yourself, encourage myself and reward myself is very important for me. Both of them can make me feel very happy. With the happy emotions, I can learn everything I want. Last one is talking your emotional temperature. Monitoring your own emotion is very important. For me, I care about my body signal. When I find out I become very weird and I cannot concentrate on my study, I know it's time for me to take a break. And the benefit of this way is not only can help me keep my interest on learning this language, but also make my study more efficient. And then if I make some problems in my study, I will discuss with my friends about these problems and ask them for help. And they always give me big hand. With their help, I can always solve those problems. And with the help of the effective strategies, I learn Japanese well, and I love to. Next, I will talk about the other part, non-language learning. And the subject, economics, will be my example. Since I am a double major, I can see the course from Department of Finance and Cooperative Management is very different from the course from FLAL. The obvious example is economics. For me, I'm a person who doesn't have any business knowledge background. Economy will be a harsh subject for me, but with the help of the effective strategy, actually I do this subject quite well. And by this example, I want to show that although we learned effective strategies on language learning structure class, actually it can apply on any kinds of learnings. The strategy I use in economy is just as I use in learning Japanese. I use lower your anxiety, encourage yourself, and take your emotional temperature. To anxiety reducing, I also use study in a relaxed environment, I can make sure I can absorb every knowledge I read from the textbook. Making connection between the theory and the reality is a very important strategy for me. Since economics is a very theory subject, and if it will easily get tired of if you put your all emphasis on the theory on the textbook. But if you make a connections between the theory and the reality, you'll find out actually this subject is very interesting. It explains many social phenomena, and with the delightful because you think this is interesting, and you will like this subject more, and it will push you to go forward on your studies. Then encourage yourself. Just like I learning in Japanese, encourage and reward myself plays an important role in my learning. And then I also take risks wisely. I'm not afraid of take some risk. I do learn a lot from those stupid questions I ask, and those silly questions make me improve. And then take your emotional temperature. Monitoring your own emotion is quite important too. I would care of my emotions when I find out I was tired of those numbers, diagrams, and theory. I will stop and take a break. And to make my study more efficient, when I met some problems in my study, I will talk to teachers or my family and try to solve these problems. In this way, I can make sure all my problems can be solved immediately. So thanks to affective strategy, I can do well in such difficult subject. And then I want to talk about how to apply affective strategy on our daily life. Well, we know affective strategy is the strategy that can help user control their emotion well. So we can apply affective strategy on lowering pressures and being more efficient on doing anything. Talking to lower pressures, the strategy we can use is to lower your anxiety. Do you remember the 10 stress busters we have learned in the class? 10 stress busters refer to smiling, exercise, get enough rest and sleep, positive thinking, reach out to others, receive a good work-life balance, relaxations, eat a balanced diet, hugging, seek for professional help if you need it. With these helpful strategies, you can make yourself relax and you'll have a good quality of life. And you can also use lower your anxiety and taking your emotional temperature on being more efficient. First, you have to relax and make yourself calm down. And that will make you think clearly. And then you can discuss your feeling with someone and ask them for help with many helpful suggestions or advice. You know what to do next. And you won't feel panic and you can work systematically. From my presentation, we can know that affective strategy is an amazing strategy that can help us have a good quality of both learning and daily life. Except what I mentioned about affective strategy can actually widely used in any area of life. So we can find that our life will be much more different when we make a good use of affective strategies. So thank you for your listening.